I'm KM Best. I just completed an Infinity Challenge with Kitty Pryde Bounce, and I would like to show you the list and tell you how you can do the same thing. So this is the list that I used. It is exactly the same as Lambie Series and Pryde's list from the Creator Clash UK. I consider it the best version of this archetype for a variety of reasons. So let's go card by card and talk about what we put in the deck and what we didn't put in the deck, and explain what all these cards are doing and what the omissions, cards like Falcon, for example, or Shang-Chi, are doing out of the deck. Kitty Pryde is foundational. I'm not sure she's the best card in the deck, but you don't play this deck without her. She's the reason it picked up popularity, and she is probably the single best card in your deck to draw on turn one. In fact, you're going to see in the gameplay that when I had to play a mirror, I was so frustrated at how good my opponent was at drawing Kitty Pryde on turn one, because it is that impactful in the mirror. It is that powerful. It is that unique. It is a hard card to deal with. And when you get it rolling, you are doing things that are so much stronger than basically everyone else in the game. The only things you really need to keep in mind for Kitty Pryde are you can try to protect it from Killmonger by beasting it the turn you play it. And of course, if you have a Bast in your opener, you Bast before you play Kitty, starting her at 3 instead of starting her at 0. Speaking of Bast, this card I've seen being cut for some lists. I think that is a huge mistake. Bast is an immensely powerful card with almost every card in the deck. And the fact that Bast going on to Iron Man makes it such a viable threat really helps us to combat some of our bad matchups by using a 3-power Iron Man. In addition, of course, Bast is phenomenal with an early Kitty Pryde. Bast is phenomenal with Angela and Bishop, buffing all of this stuff. But most importantly, Bast on Mysterio will create a 2/9 effectively, because the Bast effect will apply to both of Mysterio's clones. So it'll be a 3-power clone, a 3-power clone, and the real Mysterio when you play that card, all for only 2 energy. Bast is a great card. Do not play this deck without. Spider-Ham is the most recent addition to this deck, and really what Spider-Ham is doing is, if you recall, I was playing Elektra in this deck to sort of try to deal with the early 1-cost cards from the Lockdown High Evolutionary archetype. Spider-Ham is dealing with the expensive cards in that archetype, so you're looking to hit things like Spider-Man, you're looking to hit things like Doctor Doom, you're looking to hit things like the Hulk, and really, hitting Spider-Man and hitting Professor X are really, really powerful things to do. So in that matchup, a lot of the time, I'm actually playing Spider-Ham very early, as opposed to holding it to hit something later. I want to see if I can get 2 Spider-Hams off, but also, if they have the 6-cost in hand, that'll protect their 5-cost. So I want to see if I can snipe a Spider-Man. I want to see if I can snipe a Professor X before I start hitting 6 costs, because I can always hit the 6 costs once I am able to play the card Beast later, right? You have less time to hit the 5 costs, more time to hit the 6 costs, so you do need to be thinking about that when you play this card. Now, Iceman is, of course, just sort of a default amazing disruptive 1-cost card. Iceman is another card that kind of lets you get into the range of scamming away your bad matchups. You hit a Spider-Man with Iceman, it's phenomenal, and there are some really good things you can hit in the Lockdown matchup. Basically, the cards you're going to be playing early are the ones that are going to be matchup dependent. So against a Lockdown deck, I'm going to be playing Spider-Ham early. Against a Lockjaw deck, I'm going to be playing Iceman early. And the reason for that is, I want to hit Lockjaw, I want to hit Thor, I want to hit Jane. Those are the cards I want to hit with Iceman. I want to hit those early. Whereas against the Lockdown deck, I'm aiming to use Spider-Ham to hit things like Spider-Man. Now we get into like the easy part of the deck to explain. This is Angela. She gets really big. That's actually pretty much the only thing she does. I do find myself beasting a lot of Angela lanes to redeploy. She sort of demands attention or, abandonment if you play an Angela and they're just like, well, I can't beat that. Another thing to keep in mind with her is she will often get into Shang-Chi range, and you are going to want to play around that. A lot of the focus in some of the games that you're going to see on the back end is going to be on, okay, I can't have priority here. They'll be able to Shang-Chi my Angela if I have priority, or, they'll be able to Shang-Chi my Angela if I don't beast it. Preventing your cards like this from getting blown up is really, really important, especially with people playing things like Shadow King. You really have to keep in mind what the options your opponent has at their disposal are and how to keep your threats safe, because losing one of your big threats can be utterly game losing. A lot of people ask, how do I play this deck without Hitmonkey? I personally don't believe that you can. I think Hitmonkey is a core component of this deck. I think you cannot cut him ever. The Hitmonkey Mysterio interaction forms the backbone of your turn 6 strategy. You are not able to play this deck without Hitmonkey. I realize that makes it a little bit out of reach for some people, and I do apologize for that, but I do want to be explicit. This deck, more than almost anything else, is a Hitmonkey deck. This deck is a Kitty Pryde deck first, and a Hitmonkey deck second. Those are the things that it does. That is the function that this deck is meant to fulfill, and that for this reason, Hitmonkey is generally just not replaceable. There's just not going to be another card that can go big enough. And that's just the way it is. Hitmonkey goes much larger than anything comparable to it, and especially if you expect a wave, you can do things like 1-drop Mysterio Hitmonkey on turn 5 and punish them that way. Jeff is a card that I think is a little bit surprising to see. He doesn't really go with the major strategy of the deck, which is like a bunch of turn 6 point explosions, but what Jeff does is just sort of let you get into lanes that are locked off, and that's usually just enough. So if you're playing a mirror against someone who doesn't have Jeff, and like Sanctum Sanctorum pops up, you just win. And that's just been enough for him to stay in the deck for me. Like, he's not the world's most irreplaceable card. He's not the greatest card ever. He's pretty damn good, and he's good enough. He's got like his little Angela synergy. You play him on the Angela lane and move him over. And, he's a reasonably sized body, but mostly what he's doing is just being a guy that moves everywhere. And for a deck that has absolutely no way to get into those lanes otherwise, this is a surprisingly useful thing. One other fringe benefit of Jeff is that you can play him as your second card under a Sandman. And I think that's the reason I wanted him in here, even though that situation never occurred. You can play Jeff as your second card under a Sandman. If that ever ends up mattering, you will be able to play, 2 cards. Like a Bastard Mysterio and a Jeff is genuinely not like the worst thing you could be doing. So there are some things that you can do with this, being able to play him through a Sandman, but mostly he's just there to let you scam some free wins when a Sanctum Sanctorum pops up, and that is good enough. This card rules. It counts as 3 cards for Bishop. It counts as 3 cards for Hitmonkey. If you bast it, it's a 2/9. There's actually nothing else to explain here. You're generally going to want to be holding this guy for a while, although you do have, with Iron Man in the deck, other optimal turn 6 lines if you want them. But this guy is just immense. Incredible card on turn 6. Incredible card with Bishop. All of the clones proc Angela too, if they end up in her lane. Just an unbelievable card. One of the best cards in this deck, and a kind of a backbone card for it, given the effects that it has with Bishop and him. Big. He's big. He's a big boy. He gets really, really, really big. That's what Bishop does in this deck. He pretty much just gets large. That's all you really need him to do, is be a scaling threat. Of course, remember, keep Shang-Chi's in mind, keep Valkyries in mind, things that might shrink him, but really, he just scales pretty damn hard, and he is a dangerous, dangerous card. He is also your best option to put into a Storm lane, or to put into any lane that's really going to get in the process of getting not locked down, because he scales better than any other card in those closed off locations. If there's a location that closes off on turn 4, then you're going to want the Bishop there. He gets very, very big. He can win those locations on his own, and Jeff can go into those locations as well if you need that little bit of extra oomph. So that is mostly his role. He gets big, and he's a great card to put into Storm lanes. That's really how you should be thinking about Bishop. The things you're going to want to hit with Beast are getting things down to 0 cost is going to be the best thing you can do with it. But you're also going to be looking at, like, what is your turn 6? Because a lot of the times you play Beast, it's going to be on turn 4 or turn 5, and you need to have a pretty good idea by that time of, like, okay, here's what my turn 6 is going to look like. Here's what my turn 5 is going to look like if they're going to play Wave. And then if they have, like, a Sandman out, you're already leaving, right? But, like, this is sort of a critical point in this deck, is planning your Beast turns out with respect to your final turn. So getting the most value out of Beast that you can while not leaving cards stuck in your hand because you wanted to play, let's say you have a Mysterio, a Hitmonkey, and an Angela in your hand. Well, then the only things you're really going to want to Beast are going to be stuff that you can get to cost 0, or you're going to be giving up on playing one of those cards on the final turn of the game. Iron Man is really damn good. The original edition of Iron Man into this list came from Equinox, so huge shout out there. And I think we're basically in a situation where we have to choose between Shang-Chi and Iron Man in order to combat the Lockjaw decks. Iron Man is a great choice in that scenario because a 3-power Iron Man plus like a Kitty or something can actually invalidate their entire Lockjaw lane. And it's a little bit more reliable than a Shang-Chi because I've seen a lot of these Lockjaw decks playing things like, they have Jane, of course, but they also have like, they throw priority and play a Thor, and then suddenly the Thor can grow and you won't be able to Shang it. Or I've even seen the Thing in some of these decks. So Iron Man is a little bit more reliable at actually targeting those lanes. It does have a notable weakness to Enchantress, and you do have to sort of deal with that. Enchantress, Rogue, things like that. But 3-power Iron Man is really, really, really strong. Sometimes you are just going to be using your turn 5 on this. It's also a uniquely powerful card when Wave is on the board. If you're already ahead and you use your turn 5 expecting a Wave, and so your turn 5 is like Mysterio, a Hitmonkey, and a 1-drop, your Iron Man is going to be absolutely lane winning. So as long as you're up in a couple of lanes, Iron Man can win the other one. That's usually a pretty good way to go about playing this deck. Finally, I see a lot of people cut America Chavez. I just think it's wrong. I think it is absolutely wrong to cut this card. Not only is she good when people lock you down and you're drawing America Chavez on the turn after the wave, so you deploy all your stuff and then play a Chavez. Not only is she good there, she lets you draw your important cards earlier. Against Lockdown, you're going to be drawing Spider-Ham more because you run this card. Against Lockjaw, you're going to have more early Icemen. You're going to have more early Kitties against the Mirror and really against everything. This is the card that makes your deck work better. You do not cut this card. She is the GOAT. Amazing, amazing, amazing card. Do not cut under any circumstances. I wanted to cover a few, honorable mentions, cards that normally go in the deck. So Falcon has been a casualty of both the inclusion of Jeff, the inclusion of Iron Man, and the Beast nerf. So we normally really like bouncing stuff with Falcon if you are already discounting those cards on Beast. Our curve is a little too clogged to actually afford this card right now, though, because a lot of your ideal curve is like you go Kitty on 1, Kitty plus something on 2, Angela Kitty, Bishop Kitty, Kitty Beast. That's kind of what you want to be doing, and there's no real room to fit Falcon in there. Falcon's a good card, don't get me wrong, but Beast is just so much better. I do think there is a potential place for Falcon because the baseline version of this deck, the original one with Falcon and Beast and the Collector, it actually is a decent amount favored into this build, I think, because it can just put more power on more locations, threaten more things. There is some consideration for Falcon, but in order to get Falcon in there, you end up losing out on some of the important things like Iron Man, like Jeff, the kind of things that win you games against your bad matchups. So what you can do if you want to still run Falcon is say, all right, I'm going to win the Mirror a bunch, but I'm probably losing to my bad matchups. And that's a totally fine thing to do. I just prefer having a more well-rounded deck. Shang-Chi is a card that I ran in this deck for a while. I have come to the conclusion that Iron Man is just better at doing what Shang-Chi does. Now, this isn't always true, but when you think of their roles specifically as being something that invalidates a really tall lane, it makes a lot more sense. Shang-Chi's a little more conditional. You need to not have priority. You need to think a lot more about doing Shang-Chi. With Iron Man, you just put an Iron Man in their lane that they lockjawed, and then you know exactly how big you have to get. And that's really what Iron Man is about. That is the point of the Iron Man here. The fact that Iron Man is also a live card in a lot of other matchups where Shang-Chi is dead is another point in Iron Man's favor. He's not going to be awesome all the time, but he's going to be relevant, I think, a lot more than Shang-Chi. Generally speaking, you pick the card that is the proactive option between the two. So Iron Man is in here because it is a more proactive option. It is something that you can get a lot more value out of, and it's less conditional. It's better in various matchups, such as for example, in the Mirror, both of these cards are almost certainly getting Spider-Hammed, but if they don't get Spider-Hammed, you would almost always rather have the Iron Man than the Shang, right? And so that's sort of the dynamic that you see, is Shang is good, but a little bit finicky. If you don't have Jeff, I totally understand running Shang. It's a totally fine swap to make. If you don't want to run Jeff or you don't have Jeff, you can take the Jeff out, you can put the Shang in, and you can be good to go. It's not that bad. But I do think that the Jeff does a little bit more to help your bad matchups. The Iron Man does a little bit more to help against Lockjaw, and so for that reason, you end up in this situation with this list. So as you can see, I did complete the Infinity Conquest. I used this exact list. The entire Conquest is going to be on the back end of this video. Let me know what you think about this style of video. It's going to be so much longer than anything I've ever done. But hey, I wanted to show you the entirety of the Infinity Conquest, so I will make sure, thanks to my editing magic, that it pans out. I hope you enjoy the gameplay. I hope you don't freak out about me stressing so much, because I really was stressed about this. I take this stuff seriously, and I was really happy to get it out of the way, get my infinite default avatar. I'm going to answer a question that a lot of people, I'm sure, are going to be asking. In terms of avatars, my goals, I only want 3 of them ever, right? So I've got plenty of time to do this, but I want to get the infinite avatar for the default. I want to get the infinite avatar for the rock, and I want to get the infinite avatar for the 3x value Darkhawk, and that's actually pretty much it. These are the only things that I'm really looking for, so for anyone wondering, those are my goals. We've already accomplished the infinite one on the default avatar, so hey, we're doing great. As always, I've been Cam Best. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the gameplay. I really hope you do. Leave your feedback below. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Those were just pure 50-50s on the Rogue, and we just lost them. You hate to see it. Because the bad part about plays like that is, like, it's correct to make them. You're supposed to make that if you're going to win it on a 50-50. I was supposed to do that every time. All right, move deck. Woo! They whiffed it. Wave Cloak incoming? I mean, it's probably why we're not going to snap at the beginning. Nice hand snap. Not without knowing. Okay. All right. Okay. We don't know if they have wave yet. I don't want to, like, blow it if it turns out they do. Because if they don't have wave, I'm not worried about the matchup at all. Or not seriously worried about the matchup, you know? All right, they got their big multiple, man. I need to draw a Hitmonkey or Iron Man to compete on power with this, I think. There's the Iron Man. So now it's kind of a question of what else we plan on doing. Like, if I draw another 1-drop, do I go for a bounce play? Ghost Spider? Yeah, they're doing big shit. I'm with it. Cloak? They're doing a lot of big shit. I do think it's pretty likely that we're going to win this game with our Iron Man. All right, so with the 1 here, I go Kitty, Spider-Ham, Beast. And then redeploy all of them with an Iron Man next turn? This deck can run wave. I know. I'm thinking if you're running multiple man Hulkbuster, you're probably not. But I do know. The Nowhere is pretty good. Might make Heimdall into a good card with that Spider-Ham? I don't know. Doctor Strange. There goes Heimdall. All right. Kitty Pryde. Beast, all this stuff back. Am I incorrect about this assessment? I do not think that I am. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So I'm sensing not a wave here, which means we can just bully. We can just play the bully role here. Oh, this Bast is so unhelpful. Well, Iceman Icebox is pretty funny, honestly. Okay. I'd like to draw something. Okay, it was bad for them. It was, yeah, because they got Iceboxed and Iceman and Sokovia. They were just out of there, right? They got Iceboxed and Iceman and Sokovia'd. I'm gonna snap on a turn 1 kitty. This guy is having absolutely none of it. This is a big kitty. You win an Infinity Run yet? No, we just failed our second one. We're terrible. Oh my god, that's horrifying. All right, let's see if we can beat it. What are we losing to? Bounce. Not bounce, this thing. That's a scary guy. It's not the scariest thing, but it's not like what we want to be seeing. Yeah, I mean, like, they have, like, an arbitrarily large guy, but we can just go big on every lane, right? Like, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world either. I'll play for 4. Yeah, like, that's one really big guy. I'm comfortable with this. I'm not sure we want to ham their Heimdall necessarily. That is an enormous dude. We're probably going to ham their Heimdall. Was it not better to Jeff Kitty Bast? I don't know. Let's move this over here. Go. Oh, no, let's not move that. Let's go. Ham. Kitty. Beast. That's a vulture. All right, but like we're trying to hit their Heimdall here, right? Got it. There goes the Heimdall. And now all we do is just play off this lane, right? We just play off this lane now. Like there's no other things they can do to move that fucking guy, correct? They can Doctor Strange, but if they Doctor Strange, all we need is a couple points over here, yeah? So what we do then is we go 8 Bast. So this is 6. So if they Doctor Strange over here, does this make sense? It would be Doctor Strange plus something else though, right? Doctor Strange plus like a Hulkbuster over here, correct? So what if we did... What if we did this? No, I don't think we can afford to do that. Yeah, loses to Chavez mid. Bucket! Oh, just the Chavez. Okay, that we very specifically beat. It was not Mort Dog. Okay. We learned something today. All right, yeah. I mean, like, look. 55 is a big number. That's a really big number. But it is, unfortunately, only that one guy. First and foremost, so we had to play around with Chavez in each of the lanes. Huh. That's not a very good thing for us. So, high evolutionary of some kind, then. Kitty Pryde, wah. Oh, it's high evolutionary Moon Girl. It's high evolutionary Moon Girl, and these are really bad locations for us. Okay, we did pull the Iron Man, which is about as good as we get. He's not stabbing, so I'm just going to keep it going. I believe we are dead here. To just like a Doctor Doom. Yeah, I'm gonna leave on that one. These are awful locations for us, and we are not obligated to stick in for them. It's okay. We do not have to stick in for the worst locations of all time. Maybe I can draw a Kitty Pryde. No, I cannot. See, this is what's actually making this matchup bad for me. Is if they draw Kitty and I don't draw Kitty, I'm kind of in a ton of trouble. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I can lose to a Doctor Doom. Would a deck with Kitty Pryde play that? All right, I hope it turns into fucking Sanctum. Well, what's it gonna be? Multiple Minds. All right. Zero, one. Yeah, I think I'm good. This is game number 2. All right. Assuming it's just a bunch of Vibraniums, and we should beat that. Iron Man! He is Iron Man, chat. That's not a Doom snap. There's no fucking way they run Doom. By the way, added to deck, I added 26 Vibraniums. I have 26 Vibraniums in my deck. I have 26 Vibraniums in the deck. Kiln's good for them. Normally you'd auto-snap this kind of stuff. You don't auto-snap Kiln Mini Lab. Holy fuck. That's actually, like, genuinely pretty fucked up. Kiln Mini Lab is, like, legit horrifying. Unless I can get a bishop here. Okay, getting the thing ain't bad. But unless I can get a bishop here, I'm in a lot of trouble. Imagine they had Darkhawk for some reason. That is a hell of a thing to imagine. Now, granted, I will have a 0 and a big-ass Iron Man, hopefully, with which to target this raft. But I am definitely losing Kiln. That's a pig and a wasp. I think it is clear at this point I'm getting shittered on Kiln. So I'm not even going to try for it. I am definitely getting shittered on Kiln. But we're not dead. Pick up all this shit. Get my... It's an apocalypse, huh? Well, I don't much care about that. All right. So the way I see it... The way I see it, we're doing 22 in the middle. And then the rest over here. Yeah. I don't think they run Hulk. Like, they're the Moon Girl deck. They have She-Hulk, not actual Hulk. Kitty cannot do. Anyway. Iron Man putting in the work. I was trying a Thanos deck earlier. I really wanted it to work. But I just ran into, like, too much stuff I wasn't prepared for. There's a kitty. It does... I don't think that deck is bad. I just ran into a bunch of stuff I was not ready to run into. I also lost a couple 50-50s, which was not pleasant. I'll play a Deathlock. I think that's pretty cool. My worry here is I just get Killmongered, but I should be able to come back from that. Bucky Deathlock. Okay, no Killmonger, and we should be good then. All right, given what I'm looking at here. Now, they could have Wave. I don't think they do, but they could. Fair enough. Also fair enough. Now they have priority. Nova Wolverine. All right, no Wave. Okay. This is the third round. So, Hitmonkey, Mysterio, Spider-Ham, Kitty Pryde. Zola incoming? Maybe. Shit. A lot of shit that could go bad for me. But I don't think a lot of these decks actually play Zola. So, you know. I was not worried about Zola in this matchup. I would buy it if it showed up. Hey, Death, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Kind of figured you were here anyway. How to replace Jeff in this deck? Shang-Chi. Zola would be cracked. Yeah, in exactly this situation, we would have beaten Zola anyway, right? Because we went to 15 here, so who gives a shit, right? It's like, fine. I don't mind. But it's not like, oh my god, that's going to win me the game. It's just like a good thing. We're just going to build up the world's largest hitmonkey, I think. Beast all these guys back. Get a cheapo monkey. Let's bishop here and hope it goes there. We could bishop and Spider-Ham. I don't hate that. Went middle. Let's fucking go. Ham the death. Sure, 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 sure. So, Bast is not as much of an upgrade as we want it to be. We just play everything in our hand next turn. That's a little unfortunate. It cuts us out of some serious power. So is this still winnable? 4, so this is 10. We gain 5, we go to 15. We gain 8. So we're adding 23. Null is not enormous. It's losable. I'll play it for 2. Yeah, I think we beat that. Maybe we tie it. Yeah, we tie the middle and then win the other. No, we just win. Okay. Yeah. We added 23. Null was not that big. Null was only a Wolverine, and then a Wolverine with +2 had died. Taskmaster, we would have tied and then won the side. No, we would have tied and then, yeah, won the sides. We would have tied and then won. We win the event of a tie there. So they needed like 11 power, right? And they didn't have 11 power. I couldn't figure out how they were going to get to it, right? I will say I did not consider the I did not consider in any way. I did not think about it. The +2 bonus could have been on the null. Yeah, we knew the ham hit the death. But I was worried about specifically, because we knew the ham hit the death, they couldn't actually get there. So what about null? Okay, hitting Jeff there is so good. If that had hit Hitmonkey, I'd have fucking cried. Oh, Jeff. You're a fucking hero, Jeff. Jeff is just making it happen for everyone here. Getting the icebox hit, getting everything. Shout out to our boy El Jefe. Oh my god. All right, well, I still have like a shitload. Oh, that's a second Hitmonkey. Oh, fuck. Oh. Kitty. Oh, there goes null. We never have priority. We will next turn, but next turn is when we start deploying Hitmonkeys. Yeah, nice Killmonger, dude. I knew it was in your deck. Rigged? Actual rigged, yeah. Holy shit! We got leeched on. Huh. Wait a minute. Does this win even if they go all in on the Baxter? Hell yeah, let's go, baby! Quicksilver, Venom, and what is this over here? This is what matters. Scorpion's not gonna do it. 5 less than 6. Yeah! Yeah! We got the claw! We got the claw! Bounce mirror, huh? But they drew Kitty, which is very bad. They drew Kitty and Bast. It's very difficult for me to deal with that. This is a really bad matchup, I think. If they drew Kitty and Bast and you didn't. Okay, the Kitty here helps a ton. A Bishop would probably also be really helpful. Now, a Bishop is helpful, a Hitmonkey is helpful. Just a lot of stuff that would be good here. That ain't it. But the Bast is pretty interesting here. If I draw Hitmonkey, I'm in a good spot. Why not Iceman? So I can always get into Morag. Okay, so with no Hitmonkey here, can I reasonably try to win here? I'm going to try to find out. That's a lot of cards. Mysterio is the real Mysterio is probably mid, yes. I mean, I'm almost tempted to do it like this. Let's learn something. Damn. We played it in the wrong spot. We thought Real Mysterio was mid. Real Mysterio was in Morag. Okay. If we had... Yeah, I just assumed Real Mysterio was mid. Interesting. Cheaterbots are real? Yeah, we know. Spider-Ham is a really good card in Bounce. God, they keep drawing Kitty. Fuck, it's actually so bad when they draw Kitty and you don't draw Kitty. It's like... It's severely bad. If he played mid, Angelo would have gone... Yeah, okay, we killed him. That's kind of interesting. Dude, our not drawing Kitty is really killing me, honestly. In McClone here? I thought about it, but I don't think it does enough. I mean, this is kind of fascinating, right? I think we're super dead. But they're not snapping. And I'm probably just going to leave. What's this Silk doing? Okay. They have a Jeff there, I guess. I don't think I get to stay in this game. Does 18 win right? Well, they have a Shang, so my Hitmonkey probably dies. And they have a Kitty, and I don't, right? Like, it's pretty much straightforward here. These are two games where they drew Kitty and I didn't draw Kitty, and that costs you. When they draw Kitty and you don't, like, it's very hard to win. Once again, I do not have a Kitty. I do have a Kitty. Okay. I have acquired a Kitty. How do they always have it? It's actually fucking insane. They have never not had a Kitty on one. Holy fuck. That is crazy. Bishop the middle, huh? That kind of gives me an out. Because I can Hitmonkey the middle and probably go bigger than that. I think I'm supposed to snap that. Yeah, I Kitty the middle next turn, and then I Hitmonkey the middle final turn. Beast is gone. Now, I do make sure I never have priority, which should work. Do I want this one on the Iceman? It'll leave one Kitty in the middle. But that's already happening. So I get a 0-cost Iceman for free. Are they bishoping? Right, so like the thing is, I should win this here. As I understand it, my play being 3 kitties, an Iceman. Yeah, this should take us home. And then I'll 3 kitties come back. They have priority. Perfect. So we go Kitty, Kitty, Hitmonkey, Kitty. Okay, they're out of here. They weren't going to give me the free extra cubes. There was a question of whether we needed both kitties over here. Maybe we could have just gone for an Iceman. All right, I've drawn Kitty. I did it. I have successfully drawn the card that matters. Really? Is this the 4th game in a... How? How is this possible? Actually, just insane. That said, we both run Jeff, but I get to start bouncing Iceman shit here, and they're not able to do that. I think I'm just supposed to snap this. Yeah, I hope I hit the kitty too. Shang's gone. He was always dead. We knew that. I don't think we're beasting this game. Yeah, that Jeff. So do we just do America Chavez, Iceman, Kitty Pryde here? Or is Angela Bishop, Iceman, Kitty Pryde more points? Angela, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 versus 9, right? I mean, Angela, this will be 3. This will be 6. It's exactly the same. $21. So where are they going? If that's the real one, they have 13. Their kitty's at 6. Their kitty being at 6 takes that up to a 21-point lane. So I think what we do is we have to go here. Yep, that kitty. If that's the real Mysterio, we don't beat it, but we do beat the real Mysterio over here. Woo! All right. All right. Yeah, see, if this was real Mysterio, we do not beat it. Under any circumstances. All right. We got a kitty. Do they have, once again, for the fucking 5th time in a row, do they have the turn 1 kitty? Of course they do. Of course they do. They have played a turn 1 kitty 5 of our 5 games. 5 of our 5 games, turn 1 kitty. Woo! Oh my god. They believe in the heart of the cards. Simple as, yeah. The heart of the cards is coming in clutch for my opponent. That is unreal. 5 straight games of drawing the kitty. Fucking A. They're going for that. All right, I don't mind getting my Jeff hit here. I'm good with that. Hit the middle. Iceman? Okay, I mean, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's I'll live. Iron Man's really interesting here. Am I hamming right now? Am I spider hamming it up? There's a very strong chance I am Iron Manning next turn, yeah. Okay, we hit the Shang, and we hit something with the Iceman that wasn't Shang. Yep. All right. You could KM this turn and Iron Man Kitty next. You mean Hitmonkey this turn? I could. I want to get the Iron Man down before it gets pigged, I think is my main thought process. Iron Man very likely to get pigged here if I keep it in my hand. Oh, they played pig mid. That's a really good point. This works, though, right? Like, they don't have a Shang. They do not have a Shang. Here's the real question. Where's Real Mysterio? Because if Real Mysterio is not middle, we can put all this shit middle. And just win it. If it's mid, you don't have the reach. Right, but if it's not mid, I do. Now, if the real one is right, we can lose, I think. So I'm going to play for the mid. It should be mid because they clogged it. Chavez is the risk. It's actually like, I think the risk is their kitty plus something bigger than this Hitmonkey. Yeah? I'll play safe. See, like, that's the risk. If that's where Real Mysterio is, we're dead. We died. We died because we guessed wrong. See? Like, if we just gone mid here, we win every time. That sucks. Oh, God, and now I don't have Kitty. And now I don't have Kitty. Oh, fuck. If they open on a Kitty here, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry, chat. I feel the tears coming. You know they have Kitty. You know they have Kitty. 6 out of 6, baby. Unfucking real. Oh, not Kitty! Okay. Okay. No reason to bass turn 1? That's probably true. There's also no point in snapping for me here. It's going to be 2 games regardless. RIP to my Iron Man. And they do not have a kitty, but they are going for a beast on the Hitmonkey. I would value the kitty a little bit higher here, I think. But hey, Hitmonkeying that shit is pretty dope. I'll be worried if I get there, if they get my beasts. I'm just going to go for this and then turn after. We'll go for other stuff. Okay, they finally got their kitty. They got their beast. I have infinite heals here. You liking this list over Pinkfront? We're going to find out. I think the key determinant of this game will be if I draw Mysterio, which means I was supposed to play the Iceman there. I believe. Always hitting the same thing. Now, our job is to throw priority the best we can. Now, since they did probably draw Mysterio, it's likely they're going to be able to explode more than we will. All right, they'll have Prio, so if they do have a Shang, it doesn't do anything. We have an extra energy. So what is our move? I think our move is going to be that. Alternatively, we just target 2 lanes as hard as possible. Let's go. Okay, we should win that. And big monkey mid. Let's find out. So 15, maybe more. We should win the mid, and we should win the we should win this one. All right. All right. No matter where Real Mysterio is, I think we take this one with the size of the shit we just put in the middle. Our kitty is 8. Our Hitmonkey is 6. Oh, our Hitmonkey's also 8. Okay, we're good. Doesn't matter where the guy goes. We got past it. Yeah, we had to... So, interestingly, if we had split it, we would have gone to a tiebreaker and won it that way. But hard targeting the lanes did a little bit better. A little bit better for us. All right, we got a kitty. We got a kitty. If you had Prio, you probably lost. Yeah, agree. Agree, if I had Prio, I probably lose that. All right, do they have kitty for the... No kitty? Or maybe they do have kitty and they just basted it, you know? Okay. I'm cool with that. There's a bishop. That's a good bishop. Their kitty's on 0. Their Iceman hits Hitmonkey. That's a bad hit. So if we go... Move this over here. Bast, Kitty, Pryde, Beast. This maintains the majority of our flexibility. Now, the alternative would be... No, there's no way to make it work, so we get the Ninja, too. All right, we'll do this. Can you Bast the Ninja? Not in a way that gets me a free kitty. Not in a way that gets me free kitty as well. Kitty does not keep her buffs if you do that. Okay, so what are we looking at? I want to hard target a lane here. Should do it. Should do it. Move Jeff. Jeff already couldn't move. We already moved him. All right. We finally defeated the kitty mirror. All right. Korg. Okay, so this deck could play Wave, and we need to find out which. We need to find out if this deck does play Wave. It probably plays Enchantress. Note, by the way, that Mysterio tokens will get +1s here. So they had Korg Zabu already queued up. We have Mysterio Hitmonkey already queued up. Intriguing. Oh, I love a Bast here. I'm assuming they're putting rocks in our deck here, but the rocks are actually good on DC. I hope he has no wave too. I definitely hope there's not a wave involved here. We are not playing Iron Man until the final turn of the game. Moon Girl. Oh, it's a Dino deck. Medusa. Holy shit, they're doing shit. They're doing things, chat. Ooh. Interesting. If I Iron Man left and don't have priority, they can't Enchantress it if I move it. As I understand it. That's a Shang. That's a Nebula. How's the last the MGG? Oh man, thank you so much. We're gonna try and figure this one out. Okay. Do we snap this? Like I'd absolutely jam Enchantress, right? Is Iron Man even hittable there? I don't want to snap it because I don't know how this shit works. We got him. We fucking got him. We fucking got him. Oh, okay. And now we know so much about them. We know so much. My buddy told me KMS was complaining I got Turbo Kitty so often. I fucking was. That's so, that mirror is so hard. I don't know if people get it, but like that mirror is one of the hardest things to navigate in the entirety of Marvel Snap. And if you're drawing Kitty and I'm not drawing Kitty, I cannot fucking win. This is a guy who didn't even hit Infinite last. Whoa, what are you snapping on there? What is your... I'm going to stick in on this. I just won 2. I'm comfortable. They have Zabu into probably the other guy, right? Hit a Moon Girl. Okay. That means they don't have... They're probably going to put rocks in my deck here, yeah? With this hand, I go Bishop now. They put the rocks in here. They just play a pig. If I do this, I get a guy. It's not as good, actually. I'm into it. Now, we are going to assume there is some sort of wave possibility here. Sure, love it, Chavez. All right, so how real do we think the possibility of wave is, and how afraid of it do we have to be? That's sort of the fundamental question being asked is, can we play around wave anyway? So we put a Chavez over there. I think that always happens. We go Chavez, Mysterio goes here, Hitmonkey, and then Kitty Pryde. And then next turn is Iron Man and Kitty, or just Iron Man if they wave. I knew it! Why are you listening to Lose Yourself on repeat? Why aren't you? It was a spawned wave. That's fucking wild, actually. That is heinous and horrifying. Okay. They get to play one card. We beat Dr. Doom. So given that we beat Dr. Doom, is there anything else we're worried about in the slightest? Rock Slide. In the middle with us not playing there, Rock Slide would beat us, right? So we play the Chavez here. How the fuck do you call that a free fucking wave? I mean, they would be playing wave in this deck anyway. It's not that I just thought they were actually playing it, right? I just thought they were actually playing this card. And you can't fucking not respect this card. If they're, like, after what happened in the last game, if they're snapping you, your read is they play wave, they have wave. That's what it means. This Infinite? Yeah. This is the 5th game of Infinite. Don't say shit like this one's over, man. Don't do that to me. I don't want to hear that. I'm feeling good, but do not get overly cocky on this. Especially, that's a Nidavellir, an extremely shangable location. Extremely shangable location. How many cards haven't you seen yet? 2, and that's one of them. Great with Iron Man, though. It is. There are a lot of good draws we could get here. Nebula's pretty scary. We're going to have to do a lot to keep up with her. Oh, we have a Jeff, too, though. That Jeff might end up being the difference in this game. It's a 5-point swing on that Nebula. That Jeff might end up being the most important thing that happens here. That Jeff could be crucial. All right, we're setting up for the Iron Man then. We're gonna play the Rock probably for a Bishop Rock at some point. All right. That's a Rock Slide. El Jefe doing the work. Oh, I always get priority here. I don't like that at all. All right, so what's the deal? The deal is Iron Man, Spider-Ham. The Beast dies. I almost wonder if we move the Jeff, given how many cards we're playing here. Given how many cards we're playing here, do you think we move the Jeff? I think they could still have a Doctor Doom. So I am not going to do that. Actually, we play 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we leave the Jeff there. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. We have to be able to beat a buffed Darkhawk. Okay, we don't beat a buffed Darkhawk, but we do win mid. And we win at... Chat, we did it. We did it. Default avatar. The best fucking possible thing you can get. Let's go. Oh, this is it. Like, this is like, there is nothing better than this. There is nothing better than this avatar. Many people will argue that there is something better than this avatar, and they are absolutely fucking wrong. There is nothing better. It cannot be done.